His daughter lives there. She lives in Glen Ellen, but she has a place in Oakland too.
Oh, okay. She's up
Yeah,
north.
yeah, she's in Sonoma.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah. That's the land of the gold rush.
yeah, surely, yeah,
We got.
surely, yeah.
I got. I
Hotep,
got a
peace,
good. I
Black
got a
Power
good.
family. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What you say, brother?
Shalom. I was
Shalom,
making
big
sure you
brother.
can hear me.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear
Peace,
you
family.
now.
I had to I'm streaming on my Facebook as well as my YouTube channel, so I had to make sure everything was right and exact. And I actually was rushing. I was on an assignment, so I had to rush
Yes,
to the
sir.
office. And I'm
Yes,
quite
sir.
sure that my brother, Attorney Amos Jones, he said he was called my voicemail. I knew if anyone would make sure that I was here besides you, it'd be him. Yo, where you at, bro?
He's on here.
I know, no, I'm saying, I knew he'd be asking me that. Where you at? We're waiting for you.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I
Right.
knew that Amos would, if
Yes,
anyone,
sir.
what's you so long? Yeah.
I want to thank our listening audience for tuning in, and I want to thank each and every one of you, powerful men from around the country that's here this evening for this powerful conversation. And I would like for you, starting with Kevin, to go around and introduce yourselves to our listening audience, your name, and if you also may head an organization, starting with Brother Kevin Jenkins.
My name is Kevin Jenkins, and I'm happy to be amongst all of you to have this deep conversation about how we propel the Black man back into his proper place. And I'm open to all of these discussions, and I hope that we develop some action strategies moving forward to make that happen.
Brother Stephen, y'all just jump on in.
Yes, Brother Steve Young from Atlantic City, New Jersey, out of South Jersey. And it's a pleasure to be among some powerful Black men this evening, sharing our knowledge of what we have and sharing it with our community. Peace.
Daoud Sherrill out of Los Angeles, California. A Black man is definitely on the front line. Definitely interested in having this discussion around Black men empowering ourselves and being more relevant. So I'm here today representing Los Angeles, and also the organization is Bill Plus Community Marketplace, located in Watts, California.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have an attorney with us now, so make sure you say everything legal.
I would be delighted to, folks. My name is Amos Jones. I was invited by Dashan Farad, and I'm a practicing attorney with a civil rights firm in Washington, D.C., the Amos Jones Law Firm. And I'm here because I think that we're at a point of crisis, our people, and I think that people like you folks understand what's going on and are positioned to do something about it. It's time for a bunch of interventions in a lot of different places, all toward the same aim of liberation and empowerment, because there are a bunch of new challenges that are not that hard if we can get in accord with each other. So I'm here to help.
Thank you. Brother Deshaun?
Dashan Farad, reporter for GoPro Radio Network here in New York City.
Salam Ishmael?
Salam Ismail, director of the National United Youth Council Incorporated, also affiliated with the African American Alliance USA, and it's about time. That's it.
Dr. Rick Mathis, are you there? Dr. Rick Mathis. Okay, well, we'll come back to him and he can introduce himself, but I want to put out there the first question of this evening. And what it is about is, what is it going to take for the Black man and the Black community to have a Black code of conduct and a code for building wealth? So I'm going to start off with I'm going to start off. I'm gonna put the attorney in the hot seat. Right off the bat. so Brother Amos, we'll let you take the first shot at that.
The question was, what is it going to take?
What is it going to take for Black men in the Black community to have a Black code of conduct and a code for building wealth?
Well, the first thing, it is going to have to start with a collective understanding of the facts. the premises. There's a great Black theologian who's deceased and philosopher, William R. Jones, who had an approach called the DDT. The diagnosis determines the therapy. And the diagnostics process requires us first to understand what's happening and what's wrong, and to diagnose and to agree on that. That requires information. So the way to get to solidarity toward this fix that we need to do, that requires collective action, it always did, and unity, is for us to agree on what the facts are and on what the objectives are. And then we come together, we get a plan. I have found that when Black people in America understand collectively what the facts are and what the issues are and get a common objective, that we get it done. The problem is I haven't seen it happen in about 60 years, since those statutes back in the 60s. I can't figure out how we've been fighting for reparations since at least the 70s in some collective action. And as far as I can see, now there's public opinion coming along, but nothing has actually happened. And so I think it's an issue of understanding where we are, what the problem is, and coming together with a shared goal and solution. That's hard work. But once you get there, you're 90% out of the way because Black people know how to collectivize.
Thank you. Dr. Rick Mathis, want you to introduce yourself. And the first question, you can jump right in. It also is, what is it to take Black men and the Black community to have Black community to have a Black code of conduct and the code for building wealth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As you can see, good people, pardon my tardiness, we just finished a panel right here live in Chicago.
Oh,
we
wow.
have Eat to Live on the south side of Chicago on 67th Street. We just had an amazing panel with my partner, my girl, Vicky Dillard, and some of the amazing people from the Muslim community. It was right here at the mosque on 73rd Street or 75th Street. And we had an amazing experience where we were talking about, what it means to be on code and what is the Black agenda. What is it going to take for Black people to get on code and put Black people first? So we talked about a lot of the things that we need to do, practical things that we need to do in order to get on code. So again, my name is Dr. Rick Mathis. I'm a filmmaker from the west side of Atlanta, Georgia. For all my bougie people, that's Cascade Road. For my educated gangsters, that's Adamsville. And for my freedom fighters, that's West End. Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right. Well, we thank you, man, bringing us, Kevin, he giving us frontline information by being in Chicago doing this broadcast. I feel very proud of that, brother. Thank you so much, Dr. Rick Mathis.
Thank you.
Stephen Young.
Yes, peace and blessings, everyone. It's definitely powerful to be from East Coast, West Coast, South, North. You're good brothers, man. So very much powerful right there. This is the start of the Black Code right here. I think that this is the beginning. It's definitely not the end. We're using our talents and our resources to working together will help bring about a code. But also we got to understand that we got to be truthful how the code is in the street. We got a street code that, you're not supposed to do certain things, especially to Black people, and you think you can get away with it. And we must make an example out of people, those who go against us, especially against our youth, outright. And in order to do that, we have to have the knowledge of self. And that's the first thing. You got to have that love within yourself. If you got a code within yourself, then you got a code with your brothers. So that's the first thing. About the economic part of it, well, there's different plans and agendas out there, but about implementing them is another issue. I mean, we can have it on paper all day long. We got legislation on paper. It don't mean nothing if we're not going to make it real. You can read the Holy Quran, the Bible, and the Torah all day, night long, but if you ain't getting up and making it real, you might as well close the book. So I say that to say we got work to do, and the knowledge of self, it comes from the love within ourselves, and then we can carry that code within our communities. Peace.
That's very powerful, brother. We want to thank you. Deshaun, do you want to get in on this? Wait a minute, we got big brother Joe on here with us. Brother, would you introduce yourself to everybody before we move on?
Okay, big brother. Can y'all hear me?
You got a little echo.
I got it. I'm Joe Chappelle, originally from Florida, residing in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, I'm gonna let you get yourself together, but I want to, brothers, I've got a special guest joining us tonight. I got a special guest. She's sitting inside the stage room. I'm about to bring her on. I want y'all to show some love to the wife of the greatest boxer, the greatest humanitarian ever placed this planet, the mother, the queen mother, Khalida, Dr. Khalida Ali, the wife of Muhammad Ali. So let's give her a hand, brother, as she come in. There she go. There she
Oh
go.
my goodness, look at all those people there. Wow. Oh, my beautiful black. I get goosebumps, man.
Yes, ma'am.
See that beautiful, handsome men. Oh my goodness, look at this. Wow. Oh, yeah, I make this page big. There you go. There you go. I have enough light. Let me see if I can get enough light. Hold on. Remedy cricket.
I know this is the voices of black men, but
Oh,
this woman
yes.
she stood side by side by the greatest, one of the greatest black men to walk this planet, man.
And I not only stand by him, I'm gonna stand by all of you.
Thank you, mother. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by all of you. Wow, look at the audience. Beautiful. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers. How y'all doing? Good. Alhamdulillah.
Walaikum salam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Who is that handsome guy? See,
Right
okay.
Uh-huh.
What's
Yes,
your name
ma'am.
with the glasses? Who is that?
Kevin Jenkins. How you doing?
Okay. True story about my great grandfather.
Okay.
Beautiful. And then the one with the cap. Well,
Okay.
no, the one with the cap, like a baseball.
Cincinnati. Wow. Okay.
Somebody's
gotta go on mute. Somebody's gotta go on mute.
I'm doing fine, my dear brother. And
That
what's
was
this
Dr.
one?
Rick. He got that noise in the background
Rick.
in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Rick Mathis' mother is presently in Chicago doing a broadcast live there at outside the convention with folks in the community.
Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Give him my greetings when you get a chance.
He can hear you.
Yes, that's good. And then we got the brother over here with the beautiful tie.
Thank you. May I call you Mrs. Ali? Is that appropriate?
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. My name is so long, and I used to teach. I used to be a former teacher, so I used to go to different colleges and universities and schools, right? So one time, one of the students at the school say, "Can I just call? I can't say Khalila. Can I just call you Mama Ali?" And I said, "Yes." So that's my nickname. I made a brand out of it. You can say Mama Ali if you like.
That works for me, Mama Ali.
Well, they gonna say Mrs. They gonna say Mrs. Ali. They ain't getting the mama
they
part.
gonna say Mama Ali. No, I'm not married. I'm single, and I'm a mother. So just call me Mama Ali.
I am a native of Kentucky, and I take great pleasure in flying into the Muhammad Ali International Airport these days when I go home for the holidays. And I had the privilege of showing a Syrian friend from Damascus. He wanted to go to the Muhammad Ali Center. And so we went. I've been there a couple of times, and it's a credit to Kentucky. I tell people, all of us in Kentucky are stand-up black men like Muhammad Ali.
Yes. You know what? It's a long time overdue, him getting his name at that airport. I wish he had lived to see that. That's like way overdue. They should have done it a long time ago. And it makes me feel good to know my family is legacy is all over Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali Boulevard was a major street from all the way growing up in the 80s. That was a good start.
That's
but,
right, it was.
But it was especially in a very Caucasian state. So
Yeah.
it's good that
And there's no nothing come out of Louisville, Kentucky, but whiskey, brandy, and horses.
right.
And of course,
There's
you
some fried
can't forget
chicken.
the best thing ever came out of there was Muhammad Ali.
There's some fried chicken that a white man ripped off from his sister, but that's another story.
There you go. Absolutely. There
Doesn't
you
happen,
go.
y'all. It
That's how it
happens.
started. Yeah. Then we got this young man with the 2 chains. What's on them chains right here? Your name ain't 2 Chain, is it?
I'm Doug Sherrills.
That's Vicar Bees.
Yeah,
Oh,
those
my
Dicker
goodness.
Bees. Yeah, I
It's
got
Dicker
state
Bees.
Dicker up in California.
There you go. There you go. So
I had-
I
I had the opportunity to meet Muhammad Ali when I was about 6 years old. Out in Phoenix, Arizona. He signed a dollar bill for us. My family were honorary members of the Nation of Islam, and so he came to Arizona and spoke one time. And he came to the mosque out there, and we had opportunity as kids to meet Muhammad Ali and also to get his autograph on a $1 bill. Then I was also good friends with his best friend. Jim Brown, the Hall of Fame running back.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
that man was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, we helped co-founded Jim Brown's organization, American. So we worked with him for 30 years up until his passing.
That's great. He was a great man. He used to give me $500. Say, come up to the house, go shopping, and I want a Muslim dinner tonight. I'll be in that kitchen. You feed everybody Muslim food. That's what he do for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Good brother. Who is the guy? What you getting ready to say, brother Emmanuel?
No, mother. What you wanted? Somebody else didn't speak.
Yeah, I'm looking at the guy in the orange. I think that's orange.
Yes, brother.
What's his name?
Dashan Farad, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Sean, walaikum assalam, my dear brother Sarah. How you doing?
I'm fine, Dr. Ali. You may not remember me. The first and only time that I had met your husband, it was in 2008 after our brother Jabbar Muhammad had became an ancestor. Minister.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
2 days after, 2 or 3 days after, Minister Farrakhan had a memorial for Jabbar at the Salam Bakery in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time that I saw, yourself. But of course, Muhammad, that was my first seeing Mr. Ali. And also in New Jersey, I'm good friends with Brother Murad Muhammad, as is Brother Emmanuel and Brother, Murad Muhammad. He's one of those brothers that actually, being around your husband actually became quite wealthy, but he was a promoter.
Yeah, he was a good friend of ours as a young man, and I just nominated him for the United States Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award.
I saw that.
We haven't presented it to him yet.
Right.
I'm just waiting on a date to present it to him and Pete Rivera. Yeah.
And also before, as I close, I had the honor of having many conversations with Brother Minister Abdul Rahman Muhammad out of Atlanta.
Yes.
I had many good talks with him. And how oh yeah, let me tell you something, brother. I didn't let Ali out the house one time. He did 1,000 push-ups, brother. I ain't let him do this.
That's amazing. What's this other brother over here with the cap going backwards? Who's that?
That's Salam Ishmael. Salam.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Ishmael.
Assalamu alaikum. I met you and your beloved, may Allah be pleased with him, Muhammad Ali, in 1971. Y'all came on a bus. Y'all came on a bus to the Regent Theater. You were promoting the Joe Frazier fight.
Oh, okay.
And my friend that was with me was a fan of Joe Frazier.
Oh, okay.
So you started throwing jabs at Ali, and Ali was just.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that as long as I live. That had these big buttons about that big. With the People's Choice, the People's Champ on it.
Yeah, that's the one the People's Champ. That's the one of those buttons I created for him to do a campaign of getting his license back.
Yes, ma'am. And then I met Ali, unfortunately, at the Betty Shabazz. I was one of the torch barriers or whatever for Betty Shabazz with my Imam Haji Sham Jabbar, which you probably met. And Ali actually came over. Actually, I kind of walked him to the coffin. He put his hands on the coffin. Sister Betty Shabazz coffin. That was the last time I saw Muhammad Ali.
That's amazing.
But I met you in 1971, so I'm not trying to date myself, but that's okay.
That's how we find out where we are and who we are at that time.
Yes, ma'am.
No, with it. No,
Brother Joe, would you have to say something to Muhammad Ali?
Who is Joe?
He's down here below, but I can't hear you.
You hear me now?
You gotta go closer.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. How are you? Story.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing great.
Alhamdulillah.
Check my audio. Y'all can get me better?
No, we can't hear you good. Brother Billy, go.
Hey, what's going on? Pardon me for the lateness.
Oh, that's okay. I see you driving there. You're driving. Be careful.
Yeah.
Excuse me, brothers. I have a security question. There's a brother, Mustafa Brent, trying to get in this conversation. I don't know him. He didn't pass. I didn't do any clearance on him. Who is he?
Hey, Emmanuel, Mustafa Brent, you know, Councilman, I think you're talking about Councilman Mustafa Brent from East Orange, New Jersey.
I gave you a heads up on it. You forgot, bro, Imam. Emmanuel.
I forgot. Okay. I'll let him in because he's been sitting out. Hey, brother, he been sitting out in the waiting room.
No, me and Dashawn know him. He's powerful. That's why I asked you. You may know him. He's from North.
He's a councilman.
But he's a former East Orange councilman.
In there.
I'll let him in.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'll let him in.
Okay, let him in. There he is.
Kevin, I'll let the councilman in from East Orange, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, East Orange. That's where I dropped off my books at the Hudson Elementary School in East Orange. I think it was.
Councilman, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, brother. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everybody doing today? My name is Mustafa Ibn Abdurrahim Al-Mu'tasim. I'm the former 5th Ward councilman in the great city of East Orange by way of south side of Newark and the south side of everything else. I'm honored to be on this call, man. I thank you guys for allowing me to sit. I don't mind sitting in the waiting room, man. There's a lot of people that sit in the waiting room that had the keys to the door. So we're blessed to be a part of whatever mission that's going to move our humanity and our civility forward and hold the people who've been holding us down accountable for all the things that we are due. And I pray that Allah gives this gathering his blessing and his mercy, one that will be mentioned in his presence and in his sovereignty over all things. So I'm going to go silent, man. I'm still listening. I came on a little late, as you can see. I got on my regalia, man. I had to come to a wedding. I stepped out because I saw that the meeting started. So I'm going to be here for a couple minutes more. And then you know, if y'all need me to chime in and have any feedback, I'm all here.
Oh, good, brother. So good. I thought you dressed up for me.
Hey, Mother Muhammad, man, you know, I had a lot of pressure on my back foot when I was younger, man, but I don't think I can step in the shoes of our great king, Muhammad Ali. So, with all due respect.
You're doing a good job, though, brother.
But let me say this though. There's something lost on the beauty and the presence of a woman of your generation that I think a sidebar there has to be some kind of etiquette classes and of those likes, man, to be taught on this generation, things that possibly my daughters have, you know, received from their mothers, but the necessity to, you know, progress in a way that brings us back to the essence of who we are is definitely needed.
Well, inshallah, if I get successful enough to open up, I'm developing an academy for young girls and young boys to get the essence of pure mannerisms and accountable quotes and instructions how to grow up with good character, grow up with good character. and it will be a credit to their school in their regular school. They would just have to take classes after school.
I want to go back to this question, and brother Councilman, you and then brother Billy Goat, what is it going to take for black men in the black community to have a black code of conduct and a code for building wealth?
Well, I think we got to go back to the basics, and you know, before all of this, you know, it's a lot of stuff that's going on, like on social media. We didn't have that when I was coming up, so you know, we had to, you know, pay attention to our elders, and most of our elders was, well, when I was coming up, was straight upstanding people, you know, that was working hard and had a good ethics. Honestly, I love hip hop music, but that's a problem too, because it's rap music is taking the place of the OG that can teach these young men and these young women how to be upstanding men and women.
Yes, sir.
And hip hop is guiding these young people in a way that's so influential that, I mean, hip hop single-handedly just gives our people what they call culture, and it's not culture. They say this is hip hop is a culture and all that. Nah, I beg to differ. When it's all these young kids are talking about killing each other, that's a death culture. But removing that is going to be hard. I think that those of us that have the wisdom, we just got to keep shining that wisdom on these young people.
Yes.
And that's the best thing we could do, because the powers that be, they work real hard to keep our youth in that state of like ignorance. Did you see when the Jewish woman was having a meeting in Atlanta, and she said that Israel's biggest problem is the black youth in America? Did y'all see that?
Yes,
no,
sir.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I've
those
seen
of
a
y'all
lot
that
of programs like that. I've seen a lot of pros that insinuates that. Yes.
Oh, this woman said it straight up. She said, the biggest problem that Israel faces is the young black youth. Now, for baby killers to say that, I think, because, you know, they kill babies over there in Gaza.
They're killing everybody over there in Gaza.
Right, but you know that Gaza is 50% children, because So and you see all of those posts with a lot of children just hurt. It's because it's 50% children. So for them baby killers to start speaking about our babies is a problem, I think we need to pay attention to these people.
Yes, sir. Gotcha. You're absolutely right, brother.
Councilman Brent Mustafa.
Yes.
Can you answer that?
So I'm gonna be as abridged as I possibly can. I don't want to offend anybody. So what is
Excuse me, Councilman. We men on here, and we got Queen Mother on here.
Yeah, right. You're not offending anybody. You just tell the truth. Forget about offending anybody.
So you know, we want to save the youth, right? But with what, right? And so what I've learned to accept a long time ago, man, is that as human beings, you know, we live a very mortal life, and you know, our life often is tempestuous at best. And so men die, women die, but ideas and concepts live on through the ages. And so what has happened is we have allowed people to hijack what our narrative is and to rewrite it for us. And so there's no problem with the old code or the laws and the etiquette that many of us was raised on and what our grandparents instilled in us. But the problem is we allowed that to be hijacked with the carnivorous puppeteers and people who have ideas and concepts to profit off of our existence. And so what we have to begin to do is not to rewrite or reinvent anything, but to reintroduce and to repackage and to present it in a way that affords people to have a level of their humanity that they can access, but also give them ways in which they can enrich and uplift and live a life of vitality and prosperity so that they can be successful and find their individual pathway to the creator and to their livelihood and to their sustenance, but under the guise and under the pretext of the collective, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so identifying what the narrative is, right? What are the goals? What are the objectives, right? We're having a conversation about community and the effects of what's going on, right, in our political system and our communal system, right, in our familiar system, right? But as long as I've been in positions of leadership, rarely have I come across an organization that is FUBU, i.e., for us, by us, that has an agenda that is non-negotiable, that is threatening to the status quo, but it is all inclusive of what is necessary to fulfill our needs as humans within the service that God has given us divinely, right? That we cannot ever get outside of. And so, to answer your question more directly, IEA, we need when they catch these guys doing miscreant or unscrupulous behavior, right? They say they have a manifesto, right?
Yeah.
It has acquired a negative connotation over the years because most of the times it's used by some nut job professing his whatever. But we have yet to write up an agenda, man, a manifesto, right? If I meet with any politician, I don't want to eat over no food. Don't invite me out to eat, and we're gonna meet for no more than an hour. And you're gonna do your presentation. I'm gonna do my presentation. We're gonna see where we meet in the middle. But you don't
Absolutely.
have to. I don't want to sit down and kumbaya it. You don't have to even like me. But when I come in the room, I'm working on a mission that's greater than myself, man. Because I know I'm going to die, man. And I got babies that are mine by blood and babies that I'm helping to raise, man, that I love. And so we
Yeah.
got to start off with what is our goal and our agenda, man.
Thank you.
And what do we hope to get out of
Yes,
any
sir.
endeavor that we pursue?
Because
Thank
you
you.
know what, brother Emmanuel,
Yes, ma'am.
I totally agree with the brother 1000%. And this is
Is our
the
music
thing,
on?
I'm getting back into movies and producing movies and films on, I got a movie that I'm working on now. It's called Pure Justice. And it's about how conflict between our people going into jail all the time, filling up the jails, filling up their pockets, trying to get a bad rap on the young youth that get thrown in with misdemeanors and then get thrown out with felonies, and they're just doing it for the black race, basically. That's their aim, to get some kind of criminal record on us. And once you do that, you cannot really grow in this world, in any corporations or anything with that on your jacket. And so I decided, I'm so angry with this thing. I'm so angry with the women out here. I'm just so angry that these women are trying to keep the fathers out of these children's lives. They just so angry and so outright uncontrollable, talking bad and down on our black men, calling them dogs and this and that. They ain't got this, they ain't got that. Hell, if a black man had $1 million, they wouldn't know how to act. So it's not it. They don't know how to act, and what they do is, well, he's a dog, throw him in jail. I don't care. He ain't taking care of me. The problem is that two people makes a child. Two people makes a child. Is a parent to one child. Two people. when they've been blessed with 2 people with that one child,
Thank you, mother.
they want to divide whatever divides them or breaks y'all up or whatever. The only thing that a woman got to do is shut the hell up, sit her ass down, and speak softly to the man and tell him from her heart what this man can actually turn out to be, what he can do for himself and his family.
Wow.
Show him the potential that she sees. The fact that he's a man, he's got potential. The fact that he's a man and he can see and hear and touch and smell, he's got potential. And if a man believes that coming from her mouth, not bad words, screaming and hollering over her voice, trying to make sense of it all, calm down. Calm down. Speak like you got some sense. And try to impress the brother the value of who he is. And
Yes,
if
ma'am.
a man believes that, you ain't got to tell him to take care of your baby. He'll take care of his own baby. He'll take care of all of you. They don't see that when you take the father away from that child, you're taking away his chance for being a great man and father.
Thank you.
And they should cut that crap out now.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes,
if the only
Hey,
thing
sister.
on your mind is what that man can give them, you got to make him believe that he can do it.
right. Brother
That's
Kevin.
all the confidence a man needs. And he
Yes,
will
ma'am.
go overboard to take care of his family. But they too busy calling them names, calling them this and that. And now they're getting so bad, they calling each other bitches now. They're calling each other bitches. The man calls himself that word. It's terrible. It's a disgrace. And I'm trying to speak out. So I'm going to give you an option that I figure if I got to see a problem, I try to fix the problem. So, inshallah, the beginning of 2025, before that, I'm coming out with a YouTube podcast called Mama Ali Speaks. And I'm going to be talking on these issues directly to women. Directly. I remember I'm in Florida, right? So they have a lot of women events, women of empowerment. They have all these big events for women, right? And they made a big mistake inviting me to be one of them. So this big chairman of the board lady gets up and was saying how she did this, how she did that. And I just asked her a question. I raised my hand. I said, honey, are you married? She said, yes. I said, now, by you being out at this dinner, how is he eating his dinner tonight since you're here? How is he eating his dinner tonight? Well, he can get his own dinner. He can get his own dinner because I'm working. I'm the breadwinner of the family. I said, stop right there. Before you go any further, your job, out of the love in your heart, should plan him eating. You should have had his food ready, so when he comes, it's ready. So don't be boasting so big about you this and you that, and you didn't even have his dinner ready when he came in the house. So right now, you have actually lost a point on your crown trying to be a woman of respect. You call yourself a queen? Well, how's your queen has to have a crown in order to be a queen. She needs to build a warmth, a compassionate crown, a point for compassion, a point for love. That's what a queen is. And if you have not built your crown with patience, compassion, love, and caring, you're just a female. That's all you are.
Thank you, mother.
And
Brother,
I just want to say that because they tend to forget what the man stands for.
right.
Man stands, represent protection, the protector, the provider, and the better half of the home. I guess they forgot about that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to stop until I teach our women, slow down, slow your roll, baby, because you're missing the point. You know, so men out here, you guys out here, if you had a woman that could, what did I do with Muhammad Ali when I married him? What did I do? He had no money to give me or anything, no dowry to give me anything. I'm 17, ain't no dowry to be found. But that wasn't the reason why I married him. I married him because he had potential. He's listening to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which I got him to stay focused on. And I took my college money and supported us for 3 years. My college money. Because I know he had potential. And all I did was stay healthy because you're going to fight again. I had more confidence in him getting his license back than he did. So it took me to stand up and stay with this man and support him all these years. These one right here, the last 2 wives, they're gold diggers. They just wanted the money I helped him make.
Uh-oh.
But they did not build the legacy that me and him built. They just want the money. They thought that's all it was necessary. So I built the legacy, but I'm going to tell you about my husband. After he got a little money, he found some brothers that was using him to get what they want, bringing them women for this and women for that. They was making their little money doing it. But see, Muhammad had his own mind. All he had to do was say no, but he was too weak. He's real weak, and he told me he was weak. You know what? Men are going to be weak. That's what they're going to do. But just because they do it don't mean you have to be ignorant fool.
Yes,
Give them a chance. Be patient. Be a little patient. They'll get off that trail sometime. If they can't get off the trail, then you have to let it go. But when you do let it go, you still stand by him and say, look, you need to get yourself together. You need to forgive the man for all the stuff that he's done, because that's what they're going to do, and still stick with his legacy or stick with whatever he has the potential for.
Okay, Mother,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Brother Kevin Jenkins answer that question too.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin.
Kevin, did you mute? Okay,
Yeah,
Kevin.
I mute myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so I want to say thank you, Mama Ali, for
Yes, sir. Thank you,
giving us
Brother
that wisdom. And I think a lot of women need to hear that because there's a
Yeah.
lot of discussion around the country. But what was the question again, Emmanuel?
The question was, what is it going to take for Black men in the Black community to have a Black code of conduct or the code for building wealth? That was the question, but I'm going to give you a different question, Brother Kevin, and that is, what do you expect to hear from the Democratic Convention this week that speaks to the needs of Black men? Or do you expect to hear anything this week?
Absolutely not. I mean, but I want to go back to the code question now. I thought that was a really important question.
Okay.
I mean, the thing that I was listening to everybody that was talking, one of the things that we have to do is identify that the code is broken. Our code is broken. So we have to identify that. Then we have an empty canvas and we can rewrite a new code. So is a new code going to be based on principles and values and morals? Is it going to lead into some sort of bigger education platform where we can start to socialize our children? Because our children and our families have been socialized by outside groups as opposed to people in our community that's focused on family and their faith and how we build prosperity in our community. So my thing is, I think we need to rewrite the code, but identify what was wrong with the other code so we can make sure the code that we defined on this empty canvas, right, is highly effective, that we will never be appropriated again, that Black men and Black women will understand that that code is what we will abide by for the next century, so we can regenerate our community and regenerate our families and build prosperity as opposed to looking for somebody else to give us something. So when you talk about code, that's a language. So we have to rewrite the language, the love language, and the relationship language, and the educational language, and the economic language, so we can get to the prosperity that we keep pursuing in this country. And you can't get there if we're looking for somebody else to help us to write that code, or we're trying to go back to the past and regenerate that code that was so effective for us, that's been appropriated. So we now know we live in a new world, and we have to redefine what that code is. So what are our baseline principles on all of the things that we value? What are our baseline principles on how we conduct ourselves with our women and our families? Because that's broken. So I think in order to get to that code question, we have to look at, rebranding or reorganizing what a code looks like for us in the future. That's how I look at it after listening to all of you. That's how I see that, because code is a language. That's and right. That love language we have to define again, because we don't love each other anymore. No. We literally hate each other.
Literally don't.
We literally hate each other. So that's part of the question I wanted to answer. Now, the second part of your question was what?
The second part of the question is to the panel is in regards to the Democratic Convention this week. Do you expect to hear anything from them regarding the needs of the Black man?
Well, no, because that particular party is anti-Black male.
Salam, you want to get you come right after them, Salam. I saw your finger. Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
The Democratic Party, I mean, the old Democratic Party, the new Democratic Party, the current Democratic Party, it's always been anti-Black male, but also been anti-Black families.
That's right.
Anti-Black faith. So I would never expect the Democratic Party to have a broader conversation about unifying our group at any level, because they have ostracized the Black male, elevated the Black woman to take a position of ownership of our voice, which we have allowed. No matter what the circumstances are, we allow that to happen. And of course, historically, we could break it down and say the system that was created to destroy the Black male in this country is still active. But at the end of the day, we have allowed that to happen. So I believe that in order for us to really move beyond that, we can't look to that party or any party in this country to define what our new code is.
Amen. Amen, brother.
I'm not expecting them to say anything that's going to rejuvenate, because their job is to oppress, their job is to devalue, and their job is to be anti-Black.
That's right. That's
Salam.
right.
Salam, Ishmael.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Queen, for your engagement in this conversation with these men.
I need you, brother. I have to be engaged. I need you.
Yes, ma'am.
I need you.
Listen, in terms of the Democratic Party, they already had counted us out, eliminated us from the whole process.
That's
and
right.
What they have done, the sister had alluded to it, they had elevated African-American women. If you go back to the primary when Joe Biden was stuck down in South Carolina, he couldn't get out. He was going to be gone. Mm-hmm. And they lit a spark with the help of you folks down in Atlanta, Stacey Abrams and the other folks, sparked those sisters. They got together, they matched dollars, and they came out with large numbers, record numbers, that carried him over to the primary to eventually led to his presidency. What they have done for the last 3.5 years with and I know this from some hierarchy I know in the democratic process, is to elevate as much as possible the Black women, to let them be the catalyst for the Black vote. Right now, as we speak, there's about a number of rallies going on with just Black women, and with Kamala Harris as their brand, to mobilize the Black vote. They're actually the leadership in the promise of the Black vote, delivering the Black vote. There's an event that's going on in Newark I actually was sending some of my women representatives to this rally they're having at what's that hotel by Military Park?
You're talking
Robert
about
Tree.
Robert Tree, yes.
It's sold out. You can't even get in. So you're talking about, I think that hall holds about 1,000 people. Gonna be 1,000 women. They had a call where you guys know 43,000 women came on the call. Some old crap like that. They raised over $1 million. These are all our women. So they're gutsy enough to say, well, those black they're now talking about voting for Trump or not voting at all or what have you, they at the assumption they don't need us. I'm saying what we have to do, pretty much what the sister alluded to. We gotta take our community back. Remember, you say take our street back. Damn, we gotta take our family back, because right now some of the sisters is of this belief now that they are now the new leaders in the black community, and until we take a grand stand, almost like Muhammad Ali took a stand against the war, we got to take a stand against this war against us and our people. And black men, if we don't stand firm on it, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose heavily. The slave trade. And let me finish. Let me finish 2 seconds. The slave trade and the prison industrial complex have done nothing compared to what they have in store for us. I mean,
brother Stephen Young, and then brother Joe. Joe, is your mic working?
Yeah. For peace and blessings. For many years, the Democratic Party has been, I'm going to put it like it is, we have been prostituted as a black community. They've been pimping us. And we need to say it like it is. Look at the condition of our communities from voting for the Democratic Party. I'm against all the parties. Only party that came close to doing something for us, it wasn't the Democratic Party. It wasn't the Republican Party. It was the Black Panther Party that stood up and showed us a model and an agenda to move us as black people forward.
Yes,
So
sir.
this system, we already know if the systemic racism exists, then this whole system of politics don't exist for us. So we have to educate our people to the knowledge of, after you vote, holding them accountable, going to those meetings and saying, look, I voted for you, but this law don't fit with us, change it or leave. And that goes back to the code. If you're not going to be part of our code, then we must get, it was a movie out, I know some of you saw it, I'm going to conclude with this, called The Drop Squad. Drop Squad came out and they made an example out of the black folks that was gatekeepers and in our way. And those politicians that wasn't doing right, we made an example out of them so the rest wouldn't follow. And in Africa, Nelson Mandela got free because Winnie Mandela stood strong enough to say, black young people in the street is going to make an example of you and hang you from the highest pole so everybody can see you so you can get in the line of the black code. Peace.
There you go. Amen, brother.
Billy Goat. No, Watts. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Which one is Watts?
With the gold chain.
Oh, this one down there with the Vicar beads.
He must got me on mute.
The Vicar beads?
Yeah, he got it on mute.
He's on mute. Turn your phone up, bro. Where you at? Turn your phone up.
Billy Goat, are you on there?
Yeah, Billy Goat is there.
Okay.
He's talking.
Can you answer that question regarding whether you expect anything from the black man?
Yeah,
from the convention.
I feel the same way that the brother felt, and if they did say something, I wouldn't take it serious because she's I've been on my live explaining to people, right, that this whole Kamala Harris is a black woman is a farce, and all black people should understand that this woman is doing blackface in front of our face when she does that, because I have Indian friends and they're very proud to be Indian, and they grew up in the hood with me in New York. You know, they listen to hip hop, wore hip hop clothes, hang out with all black people, but they would never say I'm black just because I hang out with black people. I had a woman tell me, well, she got to be black because she pledged AKA, and if you know about that, and she did this, I said, that don't make you black. She's from South India. She's a person of color, right? And I believe that she would have been better off running with that. I'm a person of color, because that's an accomplishment within itself. A woman from South Asia and India that made it all the way to vice president. That's our kudos, because she made it that far. The highest office a woman ever made it in this office, and she's from South India. But to play on our emotions, knowing that how we feel about race, because the way that they program our people, I like to say, you know, the white man got a red button and it got the word racism on it. And as soon as he go like this, we go crazy. Racism, and they use it out. They playing us once again, like the brother said, like we're whores, basically, for the vote, for our vote. The other thing I want to say is that I'm very disenfranchised by the Democratic Party and the children, what they're doing with the children, with this gender agenda, with, you know, puberty blockers, and the Vice President Wall, Governor Wall, that's running for Vice President. This man is on record arresting parents that found out after the fact that they were giving their kids puberty blockers, and because the parents stepped up and said, "Hey, wait a minute," they locked them up for interfering with the process. This is the Democratic Party of today. This is the left-wing nut jobs of today. And, you know, Kamala is going to have a hard time separating herself from this catastrophe that she's created with Joe Biden. The media is running point for her, as we know. They're not even asking, like, why are you not doing any interviews and you're running for president? Why haven't you laid out a real agenda? Why did you copy Trump's agenda with the no tax on tips? And everybody knows that's been paying attention. Yo, this is what this man says. So how you gonna come out and say the same thing? It's not making sense. And if she gets in there, the next 4 years is going to be even worse.
Oh yeah, it's going to be even.
Brother Sherelle.
But you know what, brother?
And then the brother Amos. Yes, ma'am. 1 second, Mom. Brother Sherelle, can you hear me from Watts? Are you in there? Can you hear, brother? Peace, brother. Brother Joe, are you here? We still can't hear you, Brother Joe.
Maybe I should go. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Yes,
Thank you. I think what needs to happen, of course, I believe you're going to hear all kinds of positive rhetoric and words with black people, black men right up there, like Raphael Warnock and Cory Booker. You're going to hear Reverend Sharpton, maybe even Ben Crump. You're going to have a nice parade out there. There will be a cavalcade of blackness with rhetoric drenched out there to trick us with the usual head fake. And what black people are going to have to do, especially groups like this that understand what's going on, there is a time when it just takes a sliver of the relied on group, because they can't get anywhere without about 90% of the black vote. If a sliver of people peel off in a few states, and don't just peel off mad, politics is not religion. People are more devoted to a party these days than they are to their own faith. So much so that somebody can walk in my church and say they married a man and get to sit right there. But if they come in and say they voted Republican, they're going to be disfellowshipped almost. That's idolatry. And that's what's being pumped out here while they transgender our children and handcuff our parents. And I litigate those cases. I have 2 that have been filed in the last 4 weeks where they tried to take a Black therapist license for telling the truth about a child and his gender, and where they tried to put the 2 Black parents who are Air Force veterans in lockup. And that's why we've sued for $1.1 billion, Washington Children's National Medical Center. No Black media will cover it. No DC media will cover it, but the Daily Mail in London covers it. The white Christian evangelical right-wing media covers it. Breitbart covers it. Sometimes you have to cut a deal and throw a wrench in the evil process, and your people are more empowered. But you got to have something that you're demanding before you flip that vote the other way. It was the case in 2016 that 36% of Black voters were not Democrats in 2016. That means the Democratic Party has problems. And at the same time, Blacks are wise enough not to register Republican either, because we know the problems with that group. That can make a sliver of us who are awake and aware and acting like the people in this conversation have way more influence and help to redirect our people and the policies back in the right direction. If the sliver of Blacks like the Tea Party and the Republican Party did, if the Black reparations crowd flipped over that way, for example, we could control everything. That's how Mark Green lost the New York mayoral election, when Reverend Sharpton simply did not endorse him because he took our vote for granted. Michael Bloomberg got in, and I think Black people got a lot out of that. And he was reelected twice, Michael Bloomberg. So we did this in Kentucky with State Senator Georgia Powers. One Black woman in the state Senate made a deal with the white farmers who didn't give a flip about the Civil Rights Bill in 1966. She said, I'll give you daylight savings if y'all vote for civil rights in Kentucky. And they did it. And Kentucky to this day has the strongest civil rights bill in the South, passed in 1966. You don't even have to go to a fair employment practice agency. You can go straight into court on your claims. So this is what one thoughtful group that gets it can do. You've got to get beyond the noise of the show that you're going to see with these Black faces that are giving cover to the oppression and to the war on our families and our men. We just got to tear it up now, those of us who get it. And that may involve exposing these people who are the collaborators, because that's what they are. And our children and families are at stake. If we won't fight for them, we need to die. We need to die. If men won't fight for their families and gender mutilation of children, mastectomies on girls, boys in girls' locker rooms, raping them in bathrooms like Loudoun County, they're arresting white parents over this. What do you think they have for you? And so it's time, forget all of that. Let's go out here and get a voting strategy, cut some deals so that no matter who's in power, we're going to get exactly what we need. And if we're the kingmakers, you'd be surprised at how loyal those politicians are to deliver when you put them in there. That's what has to happen.
Brother Rick Mathis, you out there in Chicago. Can you hear me, Brother Rick? Dr. Rick Mathis. Can you hear me, Dr. Rick? You got your phone on mute.
How you doing?
Yes. What you out there right now presently?
No, I thought I took it off.
No, but you out there right now.
Yeah, in Chicago.
In Chicago. What do you expect to hear? Or do you expect to hear anything as it relates to the Black man while you out there in the convention?
Yeah, we're gonna hear it on the street. Now, when you talk about inside the Democratic National Convention on stage, it's gonna be a whole nother conversation, which is why I'm here as a filmmaker to document those conversations that are going on outside on the street, because those too need to be heard, and we'll put those on YouTube and all the social media platforms so those too can be heard, just like the conversation we just facilitated, myself and Vicki Dillard and David Wren and a host of other people, where we had the town hall discussion on the south side of Chicago in a Black-owned restaurant, Let's Eat to Live, with the Muslim community, with the question being, what is it going to take for Black people to get on code and to put Black people first? We put everybody else first. What is it going to take to get on code and put us first and to create a Black agenda? If you look in the chat, I just put the first episode of B1 the movie, which speaks to that, which gives you a narrative, which gives you a opening that speaks to that, where Dr. George Frazier narrates that. And he talks about the That's what it's going to take, man. And that's the conversation. You know, it's not so much what's going on inside of the Democratic National Convention. It's the conversation that's going on outside in the streets. That's what I want to hear.
Okay. We're still trying to get our brother from Watts on. Are you there, brother? Are you there, brother? Are you there? He may have a bad connection out there.
Yeah.
Are you there? Are you with us, brother? Brother Sherrod? He's going in and out.
You know what? He could be in a mountain area. If you are in the mountain area in LA, you're not going to get through.
Is there somebody else out, brother Deshaun? Did you comment on this? What do you expect to hear? You and Black media, what do you expect to hear out there in Chicago presently from this convention as it relates to Black men?
Well, something that Dr. John Henry Clark had stated, he always warned Black people about mistaking ceremony for substance. Okay, and so I have to agree with Dr. Umar Johnson when he said that, you know, he's going to be out there in Chicago. He said that this is going to be a circus. What I'm looking for is some undercover or some subtle Black male shaming. Now, they already have Black Democratic shields that are doing overt Black male shaming, but here they're going to actually try to drop it in our laps. Okay, and by that I mean, I said this last month. I said that Democrats, by way of Black Democratic shields in media, are already preparing to scapegoat Black men in the event or the possible event that Vice President Harris loses. You understand what I'm coming from? Because remember, according to those pushing the narrative, many of whom would identify as Democrats or liberals, they push what I refer to as the evil Black male narrative that says that Black men are sexist, misogynistic, homophobic. Black men don't like Black women. Black men want to support white male patriarchy. Black men want to support white supremacy. And the reason why so many Black men support Donald Trump is because they want to be just like white people or just like white men. But then some of these same folks that trash Black men have white partners, okay, which is another story. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of Black male shaming, like I said, but it's going to be subtle. It'll be very subtle. And what has frustrated me from the time I was in high school, you know, I graduated high school in 1996. What has always frustrated me is that Black men are oftentimes ignored, but we're blamed at the same time. Now, if you say that Black men are trifling and Black men are this, that, and the third, and Black men want to uphold white supremacy, which, by the way, the Democratic Party is also guilty of espousing, why are you so surprised if Black men are so evil? Because in the eyes of so many of the people, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I said this one time. I was on a conservative network. I was being interviewed, brother out of DC. And I had explained, I said, if you notice in the past decade in media, you asked me my opinion as a Black media professional, most of these articles that you see that are trashing Black men, heterosexual Black men in particular, are being published and being shared by Black controlled outlets or outlets with a Black face that are supposed to be liberal. Okay, you know, better, you know, remember, you know, The Root and The Griot, Madame the Ray, these articles that enjoy trashing Black men. And one of the things they say is, well, Black men are leaving the Democratic Party to support Republicans. Well, first of all, there's nothing that substantiates that. I read the Gallup poll. I read the Pew Research, Harvard, Monmouth University. Black men, although yes, many, you know, quite a few Black men have left the Democratic Party, the number is not, it's not anything really significant, because after Black women, Black men support the Democratic Party more than anyone within the Black community. You know, it's Black women first, and part of that over 80%, over 90%, we're in that. So what we see now is constant scapegoating of Black men by way of politics. So, like I said, you're going to see quite a few Black male shaming at the Democratic convention.
Okay, one of the other things means that you brought up Dr. Umar Johnson, because some of you may have seen it this week on social media, and he's talking about how that he was offered $10,000.
That's right, he was.
If he will speak and endorse Kamala Harris, and he told him he's not selling his soul for no darn $10,000. So I want to ask you all, how do you feel that they are buying black vote, trying to buy the voices in the black community?
CBS did a story on it. So it's nothing that Umar, at first people were trying to say that it's an urban legend. You actually have black Democrat content creators who actually got paid off or want to be paid off, saying that it was like an urban legend. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. CBS did a story on it yesterday or 2 days ago, and they had a sister that actually said that she's a content creator, and she actually mentioned how much they were offering her, and she said, okay, this is the script that they give you, but you got to put it in your own words. And she said it was the DNC Democrats who had approached her, but she actually showed the reporter the script. So this is not a quote Hotep urban legend.
These are just
no, it's not. And let me say this real quick. They blocked Umar Johnson's social media page until the 22nd. He can't go live on social media until the 22nd. So they're not playing fair. You know what I'm saying? It's real.
I would call it the age of the cyber house Negro. They've always paid everyone off to do everything. What are all these academic administrators, he, him, hers, she, him, her, he? They're paid to create an impression that African Americans, who are the height of moral authority in the world, for now we're losing that moral high ground by the minute. But for now, we are still the moral high. Everybody knows if you want to have moral clout in the world, just stick some African Americans out there because we are still it for now. So they co-opt the imaging because people are very visual and they think they can do it to anybody. So people like Umar Johnson surprised them. They were doing that with preachers in the movement. A lot of the movement preachers resisted it. That's why Dr. King got bumped off. Dr. King got bumped off. They couldn't pay him off. And so he had to go. A lot of other people got to stay and live. He didn't. So that's the whole mode. Now it's just done the cyber way. We also need to understand when we talk about I'm independent on my platform, you're not independent if you're on YouTube because they can just do the algorithm where you can't even use certain words and you're overtly showing that you're not even independent. We really need our own platform operating somewhere offshore where they can't just take it away. Even Donald Trump understands that. That's why he set up Truth Social so that he could get his own message out. And he's a white billionaire who was the president of the United States. So, I think we don't even know the definition of freedom anymore. So, of course, they're going to pay endorsers to trick us. That's been going on since slavery.
Yes, sir.
Mother, would you like to add to that?
Okay, look. We all know about the power that a black man has here in America and have always had power. Whether they let you use it is another thing. But the thing of it is, we're not just dealing with black over whites or nothing. We're dealing with good over evil. We're dealing with satanic arising. The Satan is trying to do what he said to the creator. I'm going to make them turn on you. This is one of the most biblical, historical moments in America's lifetime. Good over evil. Forget about blacks. Forget about whites. You're dealing with good versus evil right now. I spoke at Clark University on a Zoom and got paid. And I spoke on not just blacks, but I spoke on man and woman getting out of the rhetoric of the spotlight of the socialism. Like the brother said, the social media have ruined and destroyed what's out there. All I talked at that university is how men and women should team together, raise your children correctly, put part of spiritual life in your family, because there's right and there's wrong. The books, the Quran, the Bible, the Torah have history of good and evil, what God does not like, and what God tells you what you're supposed to do. These historical happenings is for you to learn for your future of today. These books are made for the past, the present, and for the future. These are signs of the times. They're trying to take spiritual enlightenment out of your life. And I ain't just talking about blacks and whites. Our black people was born here, built this country here, and by the blacks building up there and fought for their freedom, all those years died and fought for the rights. And their rights opened the doors for all humanity to come over this border in this country. This is why there are laws and bylaws for you to be a part of the American dream legally. And they're so lazy, they won't fight for their own country. They rather just give up and come over here. They want to come over here and take all the necessary acquirements for those who are poor. They're coming over here to take all the grandeur that's supposed to be for the people illegally that's in America. And it's got so much, they're just dropping off these people in different cities now, giving them the pressure and taking away the freedom that the people right here have built. Now, if you allow everybody to come over here illegally and just throw them off to any city you want, it's going to mess up the qualifications that our black people has already qualified for and fought for and be here. So I don't know. I'm going to be honest with all you brothers. I'm a conservative, okay? Because of one man that I love, and that's Frederick Douglass. That Aboriginalist, he stood there and supported Lincoln and said, this is what we need. And Lincoln gave it to him because it's right. The founding forefathers, they know they were white. They know about the evil that the white people possesses. That's why they had to make a document, Declaration of Independence. So they, because if you let them loose, they'll take away from black everybody because they are evil. They have an evil people here. And they know how evil these people are. These forefather white Christians know how evil they are. That's why they came up to do the Declaration of Independence. So, black men and all men in this country that fought can be free. That's where I'm at. It was a such thing of Muhammad Ali trying to be, and I can only speak for him because I was there and I was with him, and it was because of the Democratic Party that took his license from him. It took everything from him, stripped him of everything. Stripped of everything. And the only man in the court that was a conservative said, no, he has a right. It was a Republican person hiding in that White House that was a Republican, said, no, he has a right to fight in this country. He fought here, he lived here, he have a right to fight. He don't have to fight in that army. Even Jane Fonda was ridiculed and blackballed because she said that the Vietnam War was the wrongful war. She was even blackballed. She's white. So it ain't about white or black anymore. It's about what's in here that they're perpetrating with Shaitan. They said on the news, Trump was saying to Biden and said, hey, you want to do with Roe versus Wade, look what you did. And they turned it over because they're killing our babies. And that had to stop. And he had the right mind to do it. When they say Roe versus Wade, they want women to have their freedom. Oh, we got to have our freedom. We got to decide what we're going to do. How you going to decide what God gave you that made a seed and you want to get started because you got high or drunk, and you got laid, and now you got a baby that you don't want, so I want to kill it and let it go away. That's 95% of women doing that. The other 25% is for health or incest or whatever, but not 95%. They want a choice to kill their babies. You shouldn't have a choice to kill your babies.
Can I add on to what you're saying, sister?
Where you at? Who is that?
This is Billy Goat. So look,
hey, Billy, go ahead, Billy.
Real quick, the Roe versus Wade was based on faulty pretenses because that white woman said that she was raped by a black woman and by a black man, and then she came out later and said she lied. That's why the Supreme Court really got away with that, because for a long time, all the legal justices knew, like, yo, this case is not a strong case to solidify abortion because it was faulty. That's exactly. I just wanted to add that in there.
You're right, though, brother. I agree with you. You're right. That's
Brother
all
Steve,
these incidences you're talking about. You're totally correct. But see, we got to stop killing our children. We got to stop killing the babies.
Oh, yeah.
The only way we need to do that is to uprise our women, to make them better. Don't put them in compromising situations, because that is not right to kill our newborn. That God gave us that blessing, and that shouldn't be allowed.
That's the biggest killer of black people. That's
right. It is the biggest killer of black people, and it's all going to keep the killing. And as far as this war is concerned, you know, war is the devil's playground. You know, God, the Creator, have made us the most highly intelligent beings on this planet. We can negotiate anything. We can negotiate freedom. We can negotiate anything. When they don't want to negotiate, you want to just bring in the troops, fight them, take it. War is an evil place. These people ain't fighting no war. A war is fought by fighting soldiers, right?
Do you hear, Brother Sherelle?
These people are killing people. They're murdering people. They're genociding people. This is not.
I want you to jump in on this.
Jump on it. Where you at?
From Watts, California. He's finally back. Come on, brother. We've been waiting to hear from you.
And let him talk.
Come on.
My mic, and I can't hear the topic, and I can hear the conversation.
Well, the topic is we're discussing what do the black man expect to hear from the Democratic Convention, if you expect anything, and if not, what is the situation?
Well, personally, I don't expect to hear anything as far as from the Democratic National Convention as it relates to black men and the plight of black folks in general. I look at the Democratic agenda is based upon abortions, homosexual gay rights, immigration, wars, and more higher taxes. And that right there, it doesn't align with the struggle of many of us as black Americans in this country. The Democratic Party have never really, truly ever represented the interests of black Americans, especially black males. So it's like, for me to, expect something out of that, we're setting ourselves up for a downfall, because their agenda alone doesn't align with our struggles. We dealing with homelessness, we're dealing with unemployment, We're dealing with mass incarceration of our young generations now. We're dealing with, so many things as Americans, as blacks, is that, that's the, I hope this was the purpose of this gathering, so that we can develop an agenda, so that we can start, talking or holding people accountable to where our tax dollars are being spent. Because if you look at all those agendas that represent the Democratic Party and their ticket, these agendas worth trillions of dollars of our tax money. They spend trillions of dollars on abortions and the production of everything that comes from that industry. They're spending trillions of dollars on gay rights now, changing the bathrooms, the language. And they're doing a lot of money, and a lot of our tax money is being spent in these directions, which is creating a lot of jobs and opportunities. Maybe not for us, but for people who are benefiting from that. It's a whole industry of those people that, that's where our money been spent for the past 5 presidents, So it's like, we're going to have to, like I say, develop our own personal agenda. And we're going to have to start, holding certain people accountable to where our money is being spent. Look at all the money that's going into Ukraine. I say, if the Democrats get elected, we might as well start preparing our kids to go to war, because there's going to be a war in Europe because of what's going over there in Ukraine and what happened in 1942 and during World War II, how that energy field was grabbed by Britain, who utilized American soldiers and forces during World War II when we entered into that war, that European war that took away Ukraine from the USSR, which is the Soviet Union. And so it's a lot of things that's happened politically, and it's been dictated by a lot of billionaires who control the bottom line of the Democratic Party. And most of us don't understand that system. And if we don't know the history of the Democratic Party and the history of this country and how it was formed up under from the War of Independence to the Civil War to where we're at right now today, a lot of us is going to be, considered like collateral damage.
That's right.
Because we're out of tune of what's going on politically, which is not just voting; it's about the flow of the money, how our tax money has been flown and directed in certain industries and things like that. So I don't expect nothing from that party. You know what I'm saying? And never had, never will. Because the party doesn't align with us. The party found, the people who influence that party is global nationalists from foreign countries, and they're in control of that Democratic Party, and they pay who they want to pay, especially some of our elected local officials. They're taking that money, and they're becoming rich and drunk with the money, and they're not really adhering to the needs of us in these local jurisdictions, in these states, and these communities and stuff like that. So, don't expect nothing from them. Nothing. Period.
You know what, brother Emmanuel?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing, you have to be real careful, because the people that's coming over here illegally, they're bringing their communism with them. They're bringing their communism with them, and the only way these people are going to wake up in America, they're going to have war right here, and then they're going to wish they hadn't made these decisions. They're going to bring them the war right here. Silently, there are militaries being parked right on our shores right now. Don't be upset when you find out there's a war going to break out right here in America if they don't be careful. And they got all these communists coming over here, illegally bringing their crime. And what they don't say on the border is the human trafficking at the border now. There's a lot of human trafficking and a lot of rapes and murders right on the border. They're not telling you this. And I'm hearing about this through military and, through civil services that's hidden on the border right now. They're not telling you this.
Yeah,
I want to say this, brothers and sisters, brothers and Queen Mother. I want to say that God is in control
of everything.
Of everything. And they can plan, but he is the best planner of all things. And what he is doing, he now recognizes he's relying on the black man today. Because what we talking about is a universal cycle that is going on and moving in the consciousness of black men all across this country. Amen. And the black man all across this country is feeling what we feeling. So you can best believe, especially, I'm gonna let Brother Kevin jump in on this, because especially when we start talking about the rise of alpha men, not them beta weak men. All of us on here is alpha men. We strong men. Ain't no punks up in here. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't waking up in the morning drinking punk juice. We ain't doing that. You feel what I'm saying? So this is why, and I'm telling you something, brother. This is not an accident that all of us is on here today. And on top of that, we got Queen Ali on here from the greatest and into us. You understand? That's not no accident, man. This is more than us loving Muhammad Ali. This is more than us loving seeing him in the ring. You understand? We talking about the woman that lift up the black man when they tried to strip him of everything. Amen. And help restore him. And here we are being lifted up in this hour. And there's going to be many, many more in the coming days, brother, that when we move and God move us, we got to move and we got to be honest about this thing. Because if America and the black America is going to be saved, it's going to be saved by the black man that's on here right now today. Listen,
that's right.
The black family is going to be saved. It's going to be saved by black men. Black men is only saved the black family today.
That's right. The black man is going to be the alpha that actually straighten this country out. All we have to do is support our black men and put them in positions that need to be put in. I had a meeting with. I've had several meetings over the years with my friend Donald Trump, and he have made groups decisions, and he even gave out $30,000 for each of one of these black men to start their own business, so they won't rely on any Democratic handout.
He gave that out of his pocket.
He put it out of his pocket. They need to. He says, and he had a seminar to teach black men how to open those doors that they always have closed on them. And I have a situation right now. Let me show you how deep this is. I was at a seminar I was getting an award from somebody, and I'm a cowgirl at heart, and there are certain words I say from the South, and when I got up there and I received my award, I said, yeah, this is a nice shindig we're having today. And one of the cowboys said, oh, she said shindig? Did she actually say shindig? He said, I got to go talk to that lady. She got to be out. This little cowboy came over to me and said, sister, I love the way you talk. You said shindig. I like to sit and talk to you all day. Big white guy. So he said, you know what? I just want you to meet them. I want to come up and meet you because they own this premium crane company. Big white cowboy, right? But he said, I'm gonna bring my friend. He says he's a friend of mine. And say he works in the company with him, right? So when he brings him up, his name David. Big Afro-American brother, strong, bald-headed, everything. We had dinner. So the brother looked over to me. He said, well, this is me. This is my best friend. Found out the Afro-American brother owns the company. He owns the company. It wasn't the white guy that owned it. That was his partner serving off of South Florida. And I could not believe it. And they having problems down there in Polk County. They're trying to, they got their own farmland. They got cows and bulls and everything, and big old cranes that they've been supporting. And they have always given our brother a hard time. So politically, I hooked him up with some Republican parties that gave him his freedom. Open the door. I said, no, this man got a company. It's not about him being black. It's about what he can do with the farmland down here in Florida. So I was so honored to meet Brother David, and I at least I was able to help him with some political parties that can override some of these rednecks that's giving them a hard time. I think it's because they're friends and they got this little problem. But this guy is a billionaire, this millionaire running his own company, a black man serving South Florida. So I'm just saying, it's not a lot of times it has a little that problem. It's a lot of problems, but it's the men that's running these companies. But they have to partner with. They have to like work with all people. They're not just working with all blacks. They're working with anybody that knows to do the job. They can do the job, and our men out here need support. And I'm totally with you guys. And this Democratic Party is really, it's not the way it used to be. But it's when you start bringing the LGBTQ in the fold, that's a bad business. That's bad business. It's bad business. It's going to affect our children, and these children don't need to be turned into that world. They need to grow up as children so they can grow up to be good mothers and good fathers and do what God planned us to do. And I will support all of you, your endeavors, and I am going to confront Mr. Trump for these things, and he'll be glad to open that door for you. He likes to make money. He don't care about what color you are. He cares about money. Somebody asked Trump the other day, he said, what about this Ukraine business? Are you going to help them with the war? He said, honey, he said, we need to stop the killing, period. You know, so there are things that I'm supporting that I totally agree with Trump on. But see, it's going to take our black men to get with him to get what they need. That should have been there a long time ago, and he's willing to support that. We're gonna confront them, because we gotta make a stand. We gotta make a stand to get what we need and get what we want. And y'all speaking out for the black men. That's what we need. We need your voice. President Trump is not the greatest conversationalist in the world. He doesn't know the history, and we need to teach him the history. And we need to keep him muffled so we can get what we deserve. We're here to prosper and build families. We're not here to, I'm sorry. I was disappointed in Obama for legalizing same-sex marriages. They need to get back in the closet. They can do what they want to do, but they need to go back in the closet. I don't mind them doing what they got to do. And then I told the sister when I was telling you about the college thing, she said, and she heard me talk about the family and families getting together and bringing the children. She said, honey, you're making the gays feel bad. I said, because of their gender. I said, honey, there's only two genders, baby, man and woman. That's it. And then you need to go to college to figure that out. You need to stay in college. No, there's only two genders. And I was so disappointed. I don't even look at the Olympics. I look at the news and find out what happened in the Olympics. Because when the Olympics came up with the Last Supper with all these gays and everything, that's blasphemous, man. That's against God's law. I don't care what you say. It's a history about your kind. It's time to go. It's time to go. Little Richard, now but you ain't supposed to be hateful because they're human beings, yes. But y'all getting it all confused that it's okay. No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. It's okay for you to be a human being and I'll be nice to you and everything. I got a few gay friends that's nice. I don't agree. They know I don't agree with that stuff. But I will treat
Mother
you
was
like
about to
a
say
kid.
something else.
Huh?
Mother was about to
I'm trying to control myself.
Kevin, did you catch it? She caught herself.
I gotta be aware of what I'm saying, bro. Because when I get on Mama Ali speaks, I know they're gonna shut me down. I'll try anyway. But, I'm just saying, go back in the closet, lock the door, do whatever you gotta do. Because it's gonna don't be infiltrating all my children out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to control myself here, bro, because I will cuss like a sailor. I'm trying to be controlling. I'm trying to do what God say do. Be stay in control. We women, we get out of sorts. Get out of sorts. That's what I'm trying to tell them. Slow down. And so all these beautiful
say this.
Go ahead. I'm so glad the brothers are here. I'm so happy.
Mother, we have twice as many, and we have to be very selective for each show because we're gonna have to get the technology where we can put 30 men on at one time because we got so many. But I want to say to each and every one of you, I want to thank you. We went overtime today, but don't you think we had a powerful surprise and Mother being with us today? Listen, let me tell you something. We are going to shake. You know, Muhammad Ali said, I'm shaking the world up. I'm gonna shake up the world.
That's what we sisters and brothers need to do is shake up the world and stay with their
and we gonna
can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't want a woman to be president at all.
Right.
That's not her place. She's taking the role from the man's place. This is a very evil world out there, and now sisters need to be protected. And they don't need to be in this madness by themselves. You know, I don't feel that it's I mean, I believe in women empowerment and everything, but there's a place for a woman and it's a place for a man. I might be the old code and old fashioned, but it's so much evil out here in the world. I would rather for our black man to be president. Only the black man is going to do right by the people.
I want to say this to y'all brothers. We got a task in front of us. The Creator has prepared us for this time. And we got to be ready to roll up our sleeves and go to work. And we're gonna. I'm just telling you, brothers. We gonna be. You know, we about to. You know, there's a universal call, and we got to be ready. And so I tell you to stay fast, stay prayed up, stay focused, and learn. And we gonna pull it together, and we gonna make some amazing things happen for our people and our community. So I thank each and every one of you for coming on today. And I thank you and I pray that whatever we heard and whatever our listening family and members heard, it will carry us far beyond this dispensation of time. May the Creator bless each and every one of you until we meet again on next Sunday. We may have an urgent call. We may have an urgent call for an urgent broadcast at any time. So when you get the call out, you got to stop what you're doing and be ready to come on that broadcast because we ain't playing. We coming. Right. We're going to set something up and we're going to set the black man in his rightful position and we're going to roll up our sleeves. We got brothers all over this country in every major city that's on the front line. That's on the front line because we all know that these misleaders, how could they lead the people that they are afraid of anyway?
That's
May
right.
God bless you. Thank you, brothers.
May God bless you. Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
Peace.
We love you.
Peace. Okay. My brother. You ain't